second reading this morning, and I'm doing you next because the only major arcana that came up for my first reading was Taurus. It was the Hierophant was the only. Okay. So that was the Sagittarius reading. So if you're dealing with a Sagittarius, or you may be and don't know that you are, go watch that one. It's also Sagittarius season, Taurus, which ends, what's today? It ends in a little less than a week. So this could be very significant for what's happening for you right now. And the first card to pop up that tells us the basis of the reading is the Two of Pentacles. You're juggling, Taurus. You're juggling, and there are choices that are needing to be made. It's a two, but it's really needing to figure out, like, what am I doing with my time and my money? What am I doing with the things, like, around me that I can see? I did a reading a little while back called The Struggle Juggle, and that's the phrase that's coming to mind. Huh. And then these, I'm going to put them back, but the Princess of Wands, the Six of Pentacles, and the King of Swords flipped out too. I mean, you're working on striking a balance with something that really does look good to you. Death in reverse is always interesting to me because it's more than one change. Okay, death in reverse is like you change and then you change back. It's a bit of a flip-flop. So death and the Two of Pentacles, really let's see if this is a struggle. I was going to say struggling, but let's find out. Let's clarify death in reverse and the Two of Pentacles. This choice we keep going back and forth on with Taurus. On the material side of things, it's really things that you value. It's not necessarily a relationship. It could be. Let's find out more. Could be. Okay, so thank you. It is. There's a choice that you're making that has to do, and if it's not with another person, of course, it's just something that you really, really care about on a material level. We tried, but we didn't come out. Okay, we're not going to talk about those two. All right. The Lovers is also another choice. Ooh, we're having a hard time coming together, okay? Taurus is having a hard time coming together. So, similar with how the cards are being shuffled, look at the Ace of Pentacles on the bottom of the deck. A brand new beginning here is possible. You've got to figure out how you're going to bring things together. The Two of Pentacles keeps things separate. The Lovers is a choice. I mean, we're torn here and here. Death goes back and forth when it's in reverse. 3:22 on the time. Your number is 2 right now, Taurus. You're doing a balancing act and trying to choose the best road for you. 3:33 on the time. For you. And that's why these big changes keep happening back and forth. There's a communication aspect here as well. Like, how do I actually want to communicate this choice? How can I organize my thoughts well enough to make this choice? All right, can you give Taurus a little bit of help? Let's give Taurus a little bit of help on this choice. What's our best course of action to help Taurus make this choice? Or should Taurus stay up in the air? I mean, this is a state of limbo we're in right here. Power. I like it. The King of Wands comes out, Taurus. I like it. Whoo! And the Queen on the cut with the Judgment card. The Judgment is more waffling back and forth, but there may be a divine pair here. Someone that you work with, someone who is attractive, someone you work with, someone who is a teammate for you. You look good together. You make things look good. There could be a pregnancy involved. This is a surprising emotion of some sort, okay? So there is a Princess of Cups who is the page. The princess is the page in this deck, the Tarot Illuminati. There's a surprising emotion here, and that could be why, Taurus, you sort of went back to something else and then came back to this and back to that. Taurus is a fixed sign. You're very stubborn. I was just talking about this with someone yesterday. So to have something come up like that fish in the cup can sort of throw a Taurus for a loop, okay? So we're making a choice here about, okay. Eight of Cups in reverse, reminiscent. It's a lesser version of Death in reverse. It's also a Scorpio card as well. 544 on the time. Your synchronicities here, Taurus, are impressive. So these top three that want to slide out. Jeez. Okay. So it's almost, there's a need here to, you may have the desire to isolate yourself, but once you do, it could feel really lonely. So if you're making a choice between this and this comes with a higher vibration. You may need to take some time alone first, but don't do it in a way where you're like, well, nobody loves me. I feel left out. Nobody's including me. I am just surrounded by lack. That's not what the Hermit is meant for. The Hermit is meant for you to be able to explore that light. And you want to in a passionate way. But there's something here that, like, again, this is incredible. Like, you are struggling with a choice right now, but not in, it's not a, like, yeah, you're carrying a lot. You're carrying a lot and you're moving into this brand new cycle and you're worried about moving into this brand new cycle, actually taking the dive to move forward or to change your mind about having walked away from something and wanting to go back and wanting to go back. Look, there is wish fulfillment and happiness. Scorpio again. There's wish fulfillment and happiness in your throne, in your power, in your boss mode energy, Taurus. There's, like, we're not dealing with a lot of swords. You're not, this isn't a mental conflict even. You're just kind of like juggling and being like, okay, so where do we go now? What do I do now? Okay, and there is a we here with that Three of Pentacles. You may be signing a job contract, and that could be why you're going back and forth. You walked away from something that you may be going back and reconsidering, for sure. All right, let's get three to close it out for Taurus. That and the Wheel of Fortune on the cut. So the advice from Spirit, with the Hierophant being Spirit, is teaching you that being in the moment where you are is going to help things move forward. There's a message here about your karma, which you may need to reevaluate in order to either go back or go forward, whatever you're deciding to do. I want three to close out, please. Three to close out for Taurus. Can we give Taurus some great advice for this choice that they're making? Going back, moving forward. Can we end with a going back or a moving forward answer for Taurus, please? The Two of Swords and the Two of Wands. Are you kidding me? There's something you're refusing to look at. You know it's there, but you don't want to see it. In the Sagittarius reading that I mentioned earlier, they got the Four of Cups, refusing to look at the pain. There's something here that, like, you see something you like. You see something you like. You see something that's hopeful for you. And it could be, if it's not this pregnancy and the Princess of Cups, it could just be whatever that fish is for you that you look at and you're like, ooh, that, like, did a thing for me. And it made me look at something and go, oh, I kind of want that thing that's out there. I'm not going for it yet because I'm refusing to see the whole picture. You have to make a choice, Taurus, but you're not looking at everything. The universe may not tell us. With all these twos, like, you may just be meant to sit with yourself. Two is the number of self-love. And with that Hermit and the Five of Cups, it looks like that's very difficult for you to do, to be in a meditative state and to explore your inner world for the Taurus that I'm talking to. So it's leaving you in this perpetual state of, now what, now what, now what? So a direction for Taurus, 10:03 on the time. We need a direction so we can close this out, okay? A direction for Taurus. Temperance, which is the Sagittarius card. Please go watch that reading. The advice is to be patient with your emotions. The advice is to foster the yin energy, the feminine side of who you are. All right. So if you're dealing with two feminine energies right now, we've got water and we've got air. For you, what that means is that you need this hermit time to consider whether going back, walking away, this choice, you need that hermit time. And honestly, like, the advice right here is to dive into your shadow. There's so much hope here. There's so much, like, there's not a lot of negativity at all. There's not a ton of struggle at all. Your mission right now is to be aware of what's around you. Allow things to come to you and be receptive. Don't be impulsive and try to rush through this self-reflection. Rushing through the self-reflection is what's going to bring you to this area of loss, okay? 5 is also the number of change. So reflect on what needs to be left behind. There's so much, like, teetering here. I feel like a teeter-totter. I really, really do. Where you're kind of standing in the middle with a smile on your face. You're not upset about this. It's almost like there are too many good choices. So the major arcana, because we have to end it here. I went further than I expected. Major arcana signs are Pisces, Sagittarius, Virgo, Gemini, Scorpio in reverse. You have a lot of Scorpio here, so it may be the time for change, okay? Embrace yourself. With all these number 2s, Taurus, the idea is to trust that you are not alone. You're not alone. And I don't mean with other people. I mean, you have you and whatever it is that you believe in. Spirit, universe, God, your guides. Whatever you believe in, you are not alone. This Sagittarius season. Reflect. If you need any help with shadow work, feel free to send me a private message and I can probably send you some links. But beyond that, take very good care of yourself, Taurus. You don't have to have pressure to decide something. It's okay to sit with your choices for a little while until 100% of you says, that's the right move, I'm going to go there. If you haven't reached that yet, it's okay to sit and consider. Everything else will be there when you're done.